Shalom and good evening. Welcome to the Manic Money Finance channel. I'm your host, Money Mike. This is your one-stop shop for everything crypto and TradFi. So this is our Sunday night edition here. Basically, I'm just gonna start out by gloating. I was right. And y'all should have bought into crypto this weekend because the whole market was basically up. It was pretty fantastic. Doing a sound check real quick, guys. Basically, I'm just gonna start out by gloating. I was right. All right. Sound check is good. You'll have to excuse my current appearance. Kind of breaking out. It's been a while. I am definitely had a time of it here. I have been going nuts. All kinds of stuff. My two channels. I'm getting back into the swing of things. Full steam ahead. Let me just go ahead. I'm sharing this to the socials. Sharing this to the socials. Boom, bada, bing. I always like the video on my personal account. Need all help I can get. But basically, let's start off with, the gloating about how I was right. All right, let's bring up the Bitcoin chart. I can show you here. We're going to be looking at we'll look at the 1 day chart. But basically, even with a little Sunday night drop here, as you can see, we're up from Friday. So we are definitely up from Friday, a substantial amount. Basically peaked out today at about a couple hours ago. It peaked out. But let's zoom out this chart so I can show you guys. We did drop below this trend line, this funnel. That did happen. I did say we were getting to the low side of it, and it did look like that was going to happen. But of course, this was, Thursday. We've already discussed this. Just like the SPY, it's looking like it's trying to reclaim this trend. But overall, I still think this is good. We're staying above the 26 earned moving average. So, and then of course you can see down there a dormant Bitcoin whale bought 250 Bitcoin. We're seeing some buy side pressure right now. So I was right. That could just be blind luck, Could just be a gambler, as I was accused of being by my old streaming partner, who has since left the channel. Some of you who have been watching this for a while will know that I used to have a buddy for this streaming stuff, which was good in a lot of ways because I didn't have to constantly be leading the discussion and coming up with new stuff, But basically, once I found out just where all of my old streaming partners' information was coming from, other people, and once I realized that he was unknowingly sabotaging the channel by referring everybody to the people that he's mentored by, and that the altcoins he was feeding you guys were paid shills coming from somebody that he follows. So these people were paying this guy to shill his altcoins to his viewers. That's messed up. I think that's a horrible thing. I think it stains the space. The space already has enough problems. The crypto space in general, at least, already has enough problems. Finance influencers are already bad enough in a lot of ways. That's why I show you the receipts. I show you the accounts. So you can see I'm into the stuff that I talk about. And you can see when I lose and see when I win. If you've been following the channel for a while, you know that I usually pick winners. Palantir was a huge one that I was pushing for a long time. That basically almost 10 times now. Palantir was massive, you know. I was pushing Robinhood, massive. I mean, I usually kill it with this, you know. Every once in a while, like Zomedica, I'll come up with one. It doesn't do well. But Quantum QBUT, Quantum Computing Systems, whatever that company is, that I had in my video, they're killing it. So what can you do? You know, I had to trim the fat, unfortunately. So now it's all on me, which is fine. I can handle that. But I was right about Bitcoin. 830 is fast approaching here. And as you know, usually you see a little bit of a catalyst coming into this time. You see the volume is up here. So Asian markets are already playing with this. So you saw that about we reached a peak at the 16,106.5 range, and it's getting dragged down. We're seeing some support in this level here, the 105.5 range. And I think at this point, this is a fake out, a liquidity grab. You know how the Asian markets like to do that. They're basically going after stop losses here, which are getting triggered. So people who are buying in at this point, because this is a cup and a handle, 95% success rate, typically, for the bull case. We're seeing this drop now. This is wiping out liquidity. So basically, people who were going long are, you know, getting liquidated, unfortunately. So, keep an eye on that. 830, you'll probably see a reversal once all that liquidity has been grabbed. They'll buy into that dump and then take it for a ride. And it's a lot of times they'll go right to the flip side and wipe out the short sell liquidity and really rocket it up for a nice little gain. These guys are systematic about this. It's pretty interesting to watch. Like I say, I don't invest directly into Bitcoin. It's too pricey. It's too much. Your gains are just, you know, not going to be that much. As you know, Bitcoin depot warrants in the past month are up 500%. Bitcoin is up, 10% at the most, maybe? So I'm calling a 50% gain from this point before the end of the year, maybe even shortly after the end of the year, following in the bull run patterns. On my Bitcoin depot, if that happens, my Bitcoin depot warrants will probably make a $5,000 to $10,000% return. But like I always say, not financial advice. That's imperative, and that's why it's in the description. But I was accused of being a gambler. So on stream today, while I'm doing my stream, I'm going to be gambling. It's fun, right? It's lots of fun doing some gambling here. Okay, so let's talk about the future now. I will go over the holdings the stuff that I'm into later, but right now I want to talk about the future. And to do that, we are going to be looking at blah 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 blah. I don't know. Under the plug talk. All right. We're going to be talking about the Russell 2000. So, a lot of times, the summer is not a good time. Summer is usually not a good time for the stock market. Historically, you know, I believe September's probably the worst month. One of those months is the worst month, but summer in general is known for being pretty stagnant and baseline as far as trading goes. I don't know what it is. People on vacation, not making money moves, spending their money going out vacation. YOLO, I get it. Typically, I would say do the same thing, but I tend to do that in the wintertime myself. So I like to get out of, I'm in New England. I like to get out of New England, go to where it's warmer, which is basically almost anywhere else, and enjoy myself. So the Russell 2000 Index is, if anybody knows, they do a reconstitution or whatever it's called, a reorganization every July or every other July. And basically what they'll do is they'll go in, the Russell 2000 and the Russell 3000 indexes, they're just the biggest 2,000 and 3,000 companies in the United States. So, which is interesting. So they're doing a reconstitution, and they already put out the preliminary list of companies they're adding, companies they're dropping, companies that are bouncing from the Russell 3000 up to the 2, from getting dropped by the Russell 1000 down to the 2, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But there is going to be some clear winners here. So I'm going to talk about a few. You can go in and you can look at any of these. You can just go Google search it like you see here I'm doing, and you can check out exactly what's going to be added to the Russell indexes. But basically what ends up happening is that the Russell indexes are the base for a lot of ETFs. So when a stock officially gets added to the Russell index, and they usually, some ETFs and some brokerage companies will buy in June, but a lot of them don't buy until after in July. So basically, this means that the stock is going to get bought up by a lot of different brokerages, hedge funds, etc., in order to offer them in their Russell ETFs. It's good. These are usually the best performing stocks in the summertime, especially with everything that's going on. You want a very, very proven strategy like this, for sure. These are companies that are making money. You will not find companies that are losing money on the Russell. The gains might not necessarily be as good. There is a Russell Microcap Index as well that you can check out. If you can find some value stocks with very low market caps on there, you can really kill it. But those lists are right on Google. You can literally just look it up, just like I showed you here. So it's pretty awesome. The first one I want to talk about today is going to be U.S. Gold Corp. So U.S. Gold Corp, and I'm going to be showing you this right in Robinhood. I really like their display and how they show the information. As you can tell from this chart, the U.S. Gold Corp is killing it. They're based out of Nevada. They only have 4 employees, which is interesting. You can buy them on margin, 30% maintenance ratio. Yeah, it's pretty sweet. You can see insiders are buying shares. They're not selling them. Earnings were not great. We do have earnings coming out in July. So, I would look at maybe selling them before July. This is D-Wave Quantum too, by the way. That's the one I was talking about. They were trading at $5 when I first shouted them out in January. Winning. Yeah, I like this one a lot. I like the options. So typically in this particular instance, I would be looking at July options. Obviously the calls, because this is bull case. As you can see, they are rather expensive. Once you get into this very much far out of the money, not so much. They can be relatively cheap, and with the time on this, you might get yourself a nice little pop with that. All right. So another one is Kestra Medical Technologies. It would appear my screen sharing. So Kestra Medical Technology is another one, and you're gonna see these charts. So this one's down. So I would actually argue this one's probably a better one. This one, lower maintenance ratio. Insiders are buying. Good analyst rating. They're brand new. This is an IPO, which is probably why the price has dropped. Yeah, another one. This one, it does not look like you can do options yet. But this would be a nice little one right here. I would actually check to see if they have warrants. So let's do that. So, Kestra Medical Technologies does have warrants. Now, this would be interesting to tie it up. This would be interesting. I love warrants. Anybody who follows this channel knows I love warrants. Not the kind the police issue, but with a 1781 strike price, these warrants are very much nice. They're in the money. And they usually have a 5-year. So, it'd be nice to see if these are trading. It'd be nice to see if these are trading on the stock market. Yeah. So yeah, Kestra Medical Supplies. Obviously, I think the IPO ones are going to be, I think, a little bit better in terms of performance, most likely. I have to redact my earlier statement that most stocks that get added to the Russell are making money, while because both those companies that we just looked at had negative earnings. Happens. It happens. We can't always be right, my people. Alrighty. So let me go search for some warrants here. All right. Well, the warrants are not being traded in the open market, which does make sense. Short selling is down on it too, so you're not going to see a squeeze. But yeah, I need to do something about the ambiance in here. That's better. That's better. Change the ambiance a little. Let's see here. There we go. That's much better. I'll improve this ambiance here. All right. Another one that I like, because it's a largest addition by size, is Angie Technology. This Angie, I'm going to assume is Angie's list. I'll just share this chart with you here. This right here is a multi-year chart. And you see this buy volume here? All this volume here? Check out earnings. Oh, earnings were good last time. Ooh. Earnings were good. Earnings were good. They had a 1-for-10 split. They're maintained at neutral. Their next earnings is in August, but I actually really like this one. So let's go check this bad boy out. I hate Angie's List as a company. When I was a contractor, I tried them out. I think they're horrible. But it all comes down to the options. Ooh, boy. Oh, boy. These options are nice. We got some. I'm going to show you guys here. I'm going to show you. These options are cheap. These options are cheap. So, all right, that is all working good. So you see, we got $20 options for 50 cents a piece, and even the 1750 options for $1 a piece. Those are looking nice. I'll be keeping my eye on that. Angie would be a nice one for the Russell 2000. It's the largest by size. So if we had to actually go, let's go check out the company details here. And these guys got 2,800 employees. Hedge funds are insiders. Oh my Lanta. Insiders are buying up a ton. Obviously, this was some type of option buy because the price is at 11.46, so they're already in the money. It is a 10% owner insider, so oh boy, $642 million worth of shares. That is wild. As you can see, the analyst ratings aren't great. Earnings are trending up, which is pretty amazing, which they're not even estimating earnings for August. But if anything, I would actually probably be looking at some September options for this as well. I would probably go in 2 trenches, right? So let's see. Where's our market cap at here? 791 million. That's not very big. So I think I would actually be looking at those July options here. And then I'd probably go right to the November options here. And they're more expensive because of the time. I think I like these 20s. I like these 20s here. $200 per contract. It's not bad. If Angie happens to double in price, you basically pay, if you bought a handful of those contracts, you're paying for your kids' freaking tuition. That's crazy. That's crazy. So another one that I think is going to be the one that I think, so U.S. Gold Corp has a lot going for it too because of the gold thing. I've talked about that in this channel. I know I'm normally more boisterous. I normally have more energy. It's been a long weekend, an even longer week. I'm just wiped. This is a serious stream today. We don't have time to make jokes today. We're professional here. You know what I mean? Very professional. Mom! Meatloaf! We're very professional. We don't sit on stream and do scratch-off tickets and stuff. I don't yell at random stuff down the stairs at my sister, who's currently cooking. But basically, CRISPR is a gene editing company. And the reason this is so big right now, let me share the chart here, is DNA is huge. So I have my Play Pack B. Pacific Biosciences that I went over on Friday. The reason I jumped into that, and I have some short-term and 3-month options, is the DNA is huge. And a company like CRISPR could actually end up buying a company like BackB because basically what they're going to be looking at doing is, all right, what they're going to be looking at doing is basically taking your own DNA and then creating a custom vaccine as a cancer cure. I know you're thinking, I Am Legend. It's literally the premise of the movie, I Am Legend. I get it. This isn't the movies, people. This is real life. And the probability of that happening, it's very low. Let's be honest. So I like CRISPR a lot. This is another one just like Angie. It's down. It's a biotech. Their last earnings were not good. Overall, this is not a horrible chart. Obviously, this funnel trend here is going to be very much not good. So, yes. So we are funneling down. So it's got some room. The next few weeks, it would, in order to, the top of the trend here is in the 60s. So that would be huge gains. Let me go bring it up here. Let me go check it out on the old Robinhood. This is a very actively traded stock. It has an overnight market. If you look at it the past month, it looks great. It looks fantastic as far as the past month goes. Yeah, looks fantastic. A 52-week high of 70, a 52-week low of 30. So we're a little closer to the 52-week low. Obviously, recent news on the company was not available. The credit for this movement is the Russell 2000 inclusion. So less people are selling, hedge funds are buying, insiders have started buying. Not a ton of shares, but it's still nice. Oh God, did that mess this up? No. Okay. So we got a fair value of $106. That right there tells me this is the value stock. And a stock like this and what it's doing, I would take a look at all of these here as well. I'm surprised Pacific Bioscience isn't in here. I would take a look at all those as well. What do we have for a market cap? $3.61 billion. Whew. Let's check out options. So, we got a lot more options on this one. This is a very highly traded stock. So basically, I'm going to look at July 18th, about 40 days out. That's looking pretty good. Given the momentum and everything happening with this stock, I would be looking at 50 and 60. $50, $60 calls for July 18th. And then for this one, I would actually probably check out some leaps. These boys right here. If you hold on to these for over a year, you won't have to pay, short-term capital gains tax. I would go right to the $80 one here, right to the top. That's 100% gain basically to break even, but you're talking 2 years almost. That's how we do it over here. So yeah, U.S. Gold Corp. Got U.S. Gold Corp. I'm dropping these nuggets on you guys. But yeah, I would go check out any Russell 2000 stock. The Russell 2000s, those stocks are beautiful. You basically just Google what stocks are being added to the Russell 2000, and you could go for a mixed bag. Obviously, I like U.S. Gold Corp the best. I would put CRISPR at second and Angie at third, because I'm looking, Aardvark Therapeutics. Oh, you know what? Let's check out that one too, because that's another IPO one. Remember what I said? The IPO ones are, in my opinion, the best additions to the Russell, because as you can tell by this chart right here, this thing has not been around a long time. All right, let's look at the 1 month here. And this is a nice chart. This is a nice chart. I mean, cup handle action right here. Their last earnings was negative, but that's to be expected. And market cap is 250 million. So I like this. I like this a lot. Their performance is technically negative. We're getting buy on the technicals, a strong buy on analyst ratings, and things getting added to the Russell 2000. So this will be another one I'll be getting into. So basically, I'm going to be going hardcore with my Russell 2000 plays. I'm not entirely sure exactly how I'm going to do it. I'll go with shares with some, where the options are kind of expensive and where the outlook might not be as concrete and nice looking. But then I'll go on some of them. I will go, hardcore with the options and just don't buy any shares. Basically, the two IPOs I showed you, I'm going to be heavy on. And most likely I will buy shares and options. Angie, I'll definitely just go straight options on Angie. CRISPR will be probably both. U.S. Gold Corp would be shares only because the options are so expensive right now. And then, I'll get myself a nice little mixed bag of the Russell 2000. I'm probably going to drop a good 5 Gs on this this week coming up, and let's see what happens. Oh, it's summertime, I like this play. I like these plays. So let's do a little bit of a deeper dive on Aardvark here. Let's get some. I'll show you guys what I do. It's really not so. Obviously, looking up SEC filings, you're just gonna do a Google search, and you're just gonna take the ticker followed by SEC filings. So in this case, it would be AARD SEC filings. That's how you would type it into Google. And you can go to any of the pages that come up. The NASDAQ page might come up. The New York Stock Exchange page might come up. Their company page might come up with all their SEC filings. You just filter through them, go through them by date, how it was the most recent ones, and just start looking at them and see what this company's actually doing. That'll have your press releases, your income statements, your earnings reports, all that good stuff. Informative buys by insiders. I mean, you name it. And you can see the people who are buying this are buying AI companies. They're buying, basically the stuff that's popping. So this one doesn't have options. So this one would be, a straight up stock buy. So you can see they're down. They're up for the month, up on the 3 month. They're down from their initial public offering of $16. But what I would do for Aardvark Therapeutics is I would check out warrants and see if there is a market, because when the stock price drops below typically the IPO price, there becomes a market for the warrants, and these companies start unloading these warrants. I'm not seeing any warrants though. I'm not seeing any warrants. And I will keep an eye out for any kind of initial public offering. Yeah, we're not getting any warrants on these bad boys, unfortunately. There's no Angie warrants. Yeah. So yeah, it's good times. Good times, people. So let's check out the economic data this week. That's everybody's favorite part of the program. We have CPI coming out, and then we have inflation data coming out this week. They're expecting worse than previous in almost every metric, year over year, month over month. Yeah, everything. So basically, if we see inflation drop, and inflation should drop because the way to look at inflation is a mixed bag of goods, weighted, unfortunately. So it means even though gas dropped quite a bit, it's not going to affect inflation as much as you would think. But basically, this is midweek. So your first couple weeks, your first day is going to be investors digesting whatever happened over the weekend. So as long as Bitcoin stays good and it keeps going up, what we should see there is basically it should just, drag the SPY up. Granted, anything can happen in the morning. So, be weary. But given the lack of stuff coming out this week, I mean, basically inflation is all that's going to matter. And that's going to come out at 8:30. If you're the typical day trader, you haven't even bought in at 8:30. You're not even looking at stocks at 8:30. If you are not and you're holding long term, that could be the day to just, maybe put a stop loss. Not financial advice. Maybe that's a good day to, set yourself up a little stop loss action. Be safe. You should always be safe. So yes, be safe out there, people. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's basically, that's going to be the big thing is Wednesday. Besides that, it's a big nothing burger. It really is. So basically what I'm seeing right now from Bitcoin is, we might see a little bit of pop. I think we're going to see a little bit of pop. You're seeing this range-bound trading here. So basically we've hit a support, the 105.6 range. You're seeing a support there. Now we're trading range-bound. You see it dip down. So this is technically right here, double bottom action right here. And we're coming up on 8:30. So we can see this bad boy pop. This is the day open at 8 p.m. That's when the day opens on crypto, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So you see this little dot right here. So yeah, and like I said, like you can see right here, break above the 106.6, and this is news everybody knows. We couldn't break that. So you should see a nice support building here. I think we're going to reverse and pop. We'll probably get that head fake 10 minutes before, which is currently in the process. But we'll revisit that. Let's go check out Zora. As you know, I'm been into this. I put more average down here. This is the 1 day. Yeah, this is the 1 day. So I averaged down back here somewhere. No, back here. back here. Average down back here. We bought more Zora. And, I mean, I still like this one long term. I think it's very good. The average volume is 160 million a day. Trading volume from the last 24 hours is close to 20 million. Market cap's only 36 million. So there's going to be some dilution on this one because it's brand new. But I'm still waiting for that Binance listing, and you'll see this thing pop nicely. We're forming here a daily double bottom, and this is a more of a long-term hold. And of course, I did a thing. People. So Big Back Bitcoin had a whale drop a bunch of shares this weekend. Right? This is Dex Screener. It's for checking out brand new cryptocurrencies. I didn't even scratch any of these scratch off tickets. I'm too much into this to this show and giving you guys the sauce, man. I can't be spending time freaking I can't be spending time freaking scratching these things. Oh god, this is so itchy. Shave my head today. It's the worst day to put on the wig. I'm taking it off. Just don't care. So yeah, Big Back Bitcoin. This one has been ruled safe and secure by both CoinMarketCap and CoinGecko. The contract has been locked and rescinded. Liquidity pools are locked. This is a safe crypto. Proprietary technology, pending patents. I view this as one of the most promising new projects that does not have exchange listings yet. They've been around for a while, and they're learning this as they come up. They have help, and as you can see, it's been a bear day. Volume's decent. Volume is decent. I'd like to see more liquidity, but it is locked. And so the sell volume, there's been more buyers, less sellers. The sell volume hasn't beating out the buy volume, though, which is why you're seeing the dip. One of the whales here, basically it's this guy right here. He has been selling Big Back Bitcoin, buying up gas, he's basically manipulating the two different ones, trying to make money somehow instead of being patient. He's impatient. And who knows, he might have actually lost money doing that because of the fees and stuff. The fees, doing these decentralized swaps, it's notorious for the fees, even though Uniswap has become incredibly fast and cheap comparatively to what it used to be. But when we had this dip last night, wouldn't you know it, your boy bought more. I bought more. So, obviously, you can't look at this, unfortunately. But we can look at transactions. And I know my exact transaction and what time it happened. Oh, I made one today too. Let's see. I'll find my exact transaction on here. This is the cool thing. It wasn't what hours, breakfast time, so it's about 8 hours ago. Oh yeah, there I am. 10 million. Right here. This is my exact wallet. You can see exactly what I did here. See, 8 hours ago, and then 20 hours ago, bought more. See, my first one didn't go through. I was trying to get in real cheap. I still got a good price, but I didn't get the bottom. I was trying to get the bottom. But that's... wait. Oh. You guys can't see it. Boom. This is how transparent the blockchain is. You can go look at my exact wallet where I'm holding. You can see what tokens. 10 million. Big back Bitcoin now. And I got some Ethereum for transaction costs. It's freaking awesome, guys. Freaking very cool. So yeah, I'm a dolphin now, which means, and I've been holding for a week, which means I bought over 1,000. I'm holding 10 million, which is more than most people. I've bought $1,000 worth, and I've sold 0 of them. Diamond hands here in 5 transactions. So I've been averaging, dollar cost averaging out. I couldn't tell you my average price, but I know it's in the 4 zeros now. My first buy was when they were trending on StockTwits. I only put, $250 in there, and now I've been slowly eking out the rest. I know this one's not going to be a rug pull. It's safe and secure, and I know we will be getting some listings at least. So, and as you can see, I actually like this chart from the last day or so here, last couple days. Obviously, it's down, but if you go back and look at the full chart, you're going to see something here. You're going to see that this thing does not drop below a certain level. And technically, from this drop, from whale selling, this is higher. So you're going to get consolidation. You're going to get some whales selling. And, yeah, it's a beautiful thing. But you can see every single transaction here. So, and you can see price is pretty stable the past day. Volume's also down, 200,000 volume. You see whales selling, whales buying. You don't see the same addresses buying and then selling and stuff like that, which is nice to see. Because you always want to be wary of that. So yeah, big back Bitcoin. I like it still. And as you know, I'm going to just kind of rapid fire go over the stuff that I'm into for this week. As you know, I'm still into PAC-B, Pacific Biosciences. We're still into that one. It was up. Let's see. We're in a funnel. We're towards the top part of the funnel, so we might see this thing break out of this. Not move that. So we might see this thing break out. If it doesn't and it consolidates down in, because we've gone from the low side of this to now the high side of this. So I think we're going to see a little breakout for Monday. I think we're going to see nice bull market Monday. No crazy news over the weekend. But at this point, the markets are basically expecting war in the Middle East, bombings, what have you, war in Ukraine. It's not really affecting the markets like it used to. Just kind of a good thing, stability and all. Let me go and check out my holdings here because I did some stuff. I bought some BlackBerry calls. I bought some shares of HSDT, Helios Medical. So let's check out that one next. Helios Medical. I'm looking for a dead cat bounce here, basically, because we had a bunch of this huge gap now. It's going to need to get filled. So that one I'm holding on to shares. If you go and check out earnings, not great. Revenue's not great. But, the offering was for $3.22 a share. So these companies are going to want to make their money back, and it's not going to be very hard for them to manipulate the price up on this thing as they average down. We got DocuSign, which I talked about. Another huge gap down. So these are our bottom plays, our value plays. $80 calls for 2 weeks. Earnings were fantastic. That's why forward guidance is so important. The earnings was absolutely fantastic. And then I actually jumped back into BlackBerry. I like it. I've always liked BlackBerry. I probably should have bought when they were down at $3 a share. All gaps are filled now. And, these guys are blasting out partnerships, positive earnings now. Revenue is better than estimated. They should have another. If they reported earnings in the beginning of April for the end of the quarter, that means for the second quarter, which ended in April, May, June, which ends in June, they will be reporting mid-July. I just got a couple short-term options on this bad boy because they were cheap, $4 calls for later in June. But I will be looking at a larger position coming up here. And then, of course, last but not least, my favorite holding the past month because it tracks with Bitcoin would be Bitcoin Depot. You see this. It's a beautiful, beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing. The warrants are also looking good. This is what I own. So as long as Bitcoin, let's go check out what Bitcoin's doing now. That 830, that 830 thing. Oh, it looks like we're popping. We're popping off, guys. Oh, just like I said. Would you look at that? Oh, we're going to form a cup now. Nice. Oh, my God. I called it again. Oh, I have a crystal ball. I can predict the future. I'm not even real. This isn't financial advice. I am AI. And how many times can you win, people? How many times can you win? I had a bad day on Thursday. Unfortunately, it was a crazy day because I didn't stream, but I told you guys about it on Friday after I'd already rebounded. I was wrong for a day. It happens. Ultimately, I was still right. So it's going to be an interesting week. Where we go from here, we shall see. Follow the Manic Money Finance page on Facebook. I have been slacking off on posting my trades, especially when I made the trades Friday. I will just go ahead and post holdings tonight or tomorrow morning on the Manic Money page for you guys. Post the holdings for you guys to see, and then I will be making a couple trades tomorrow. No, I won't. No, I'm going to wait till the end of the week. I'm going to formulate a plan, put together a plan on this Russell 2000 plays, and then I'll be posting those trades for you end of the week. Big Bet Bitcoin, I'm just holding. Zora, I am holding. I don't plan on selling either of those for a while. That's a 1 month play. I'm looking for a 10x on both of those. Hopefully more. That's all I got for you.